Hey guys, alright, I'm finally doing it, packing a ruck. So, first off I'm going to go over the ruck section. Hopefully this video won't be too long. The first thing I want you to pay attention to is the bottom parts of the ruck. Okay, so the idea of a ruck is you want, sorry I'm being a little quiet because kids are asleep. You want all the weight in the middle, high up in the middle of your shoulders. Now, some people do some crazy stuff. They'll take these straps, I don't know if you can see, that go through here, these little T-shaped things, and they'll push them way high up. Don't do that. You're wasting space. It just gets all junky. This is about as high as I'd have it. You want your ruck open. That's how it was designed. And if you're going to selection, trust me, you'll need all the space you can fit into this ruck, and then some. So inside, there's a compartment with a zipper. I keep it unzipped. I don't. I've used it either way. I tend to just leave it open. If I zip it up, it kind of just changes the shape of the ruck, and I don't know, it just doesn't. It's harder to balance it out. So there's two things you have to keep in mind when you're packing your ruck. One is you want light things on the bottom, heavy things on top. Okay, again, you want most of the weight in the middle of your shoulder blades. The second thing is you want your most needed items to be easily accessible. So that can kind of throw the weight thing around, because maybe you really want your poncho liner or your wet weather top to be easily accessible, because what if it starts raining? You just want to be able to pop it off and that be the first thing you grab out. Well, it's really light. So you'll have to play around with that heavy light thing. But typically, the first thing I'm going to put in is my sleeping system. So you've got a wet weather bag. Always, guys, always waterproof your stuff. I don't care if there's 0% chance of rain. Waterproof it. You do not want to be carrying around a wet ruck. I promise you. Here's my sleeping system. Now, the way I like to do it is I'm going to put my sleeping system and maybe my whoopee if I want to. Actually, let me show you something else. Instead, I'm going to have my whoopee and my wet weather top, my poncho liner. I'm going to keep those together. And that way, if I don't want to dig through to get my sleeping system, I just want to take a quick nap. Maybe I don't have a lot of time to sleep. Maybe it's not that cold out. This works just as good. Throw this on the ground, sleep under this. If it starts raining, then just wrap yourself up in the poncho liner as best you can. And that works really well. If it's really cold and I know I'm not gonna want to just use this, then I'll just throw it in with my sleeping system, because it makes for a good pillow. But so that's actually what I'm gonna do this time, because it's pretty cold, and if I end up sleeping, and I'm not doing anything crazy, this is like a super lame FTX I'm doing, so I'm just gonna, I know if I'm gonna be sleeping in my sleeping system, I'm going to just be comfy. I don't have to worry about getting blown out of my base or anything. Fog, whatever. So, alright, now all this is going in the rucksack. It's a good idea to loosen all the straps on the outside so you got plenty of room to work with. I don't even think I did that. So so I'm having such a hard time. So yeah, you want to do this. These straps on the side, they allow your ruck to open up in the middle and tighten down. And once you tighten them down, they'll tighten everything down in the middle. Now there's other videos out there, people that pack rucks. I mean, watch as many as you want to. I'm sure there's people that have different ways of doing things than me. This is just kind of what I've been taught. Probably pretty similar to what they'll teach you in SOPC and selection. Alright, you just want that bag down in there pretty good. Okay. Now, if this is a little trick I learned in Ranger School. So I'll have the bag with the opening. I'm going to have it face down. Okay? Now before I do that, I'm going to twist the end of the bag, fold it over, gooseneck it. Okay? This is what I'm about to do to the inside of this. And I'm going to wrap it around that gooseneck. Okay, because that waterproofs the bag a little bit better. And then what I do is I just, now that I've got the now that I've got the thing through, I'll just make a little like slip knot right here, so that I can, when I need it, I'll just pull that out and it comes open. I've got 2 wet weather bags. You don't have to get 2 wet weather bags. You just use a trash can for your second one. But the first one, the one with the, I recommend putting your sleeping system in the actual wet weather bag. Because I'll take wet clothes, because I'll just wear them until they dry out. But I can't survive. I can't. I'll do anything before I'll let my sleeping system get wet. Because not only is that is a ton, I think it's heavy, super heavy. And on top of that, when you just want to have a good night's sleep, you can't sleep in a wet sleeping system, especially when it's cold. I say you can't. I think anybody can get tired enough too, but that was the only time I think you'd be tired enough to fall asleep in a wet sleeping system is in Ranger School. And even then, that's pushing it. So I'm just, again, like I said, I'm doing the gooseneck thing, tying this down, and rotating it so that should have done this before I pushed it down in there. And, you know, if you leave a little air in this bag, it'll float. This ruck becomes a flotation device, so if you ever have to cross a river, if you ever have to, oh, and the reason, sorry, I didn't explain. So the reason I have the head, the opening, facing down, is you've got a zipper right here. And, where is it? Right here, the bottom of your ruck. So I can, instead of unpacking all of my ruck just to get to my sleeping bag, I can crack this open, open it. Now I've got access to the top of my sleeping system. Just pull it out. Still kind of a pain in the butt, but it's a lot easier than unpacking your ruck. So, now, step in it, push everything nice down at the bottom. Make sure I have room for the rest of this pack. Okay, second item, you either get your second sleeping or wet weather bag or a trash bag. Trash bags are great. They'll work fine. The more heavy duty, the better, because you don't want it to rip. But, all right. Now it's just kind of whatever. I'm not putting much in this ruck. It's just some clothes, so I don't think I'm gonna need my t-shirts first. So, but at the bottom, t-shirt, one pair of t-shirt, one pair of socks. And this is where you just start playing the game of thinking, okay, what do I want? Next, I'm gonna put my uniform. And then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna probably gonna want access to my what is it called? Yeah, mine's blanking right now, but probably want access to those. So those are next. The Poly Pro, whatever. Now, I don't know why I don't have a Ziploc bag, but so this, what I usually do is I have one pair of socks and one t-shirt. Gonna have it in a Ziploc bag, and I'm gonna keep that up here in the flap of my ruck. Alright, I've already got stuff in here, but that's what I normally do. I'll have just throw those in a Ziploc baggie, tighten it up, pack it in there. Also, extra headlamp and batteries. Again, Ziploc baggies are great. Throw that in this compartment as well. This thing is usually the last thing you'll put on your ruck, just because it makes it a lot easier, and technically you should have your helmet accessible. So, sorry, I had to think what I was doing. Okay, so I think that's everything that's going in here. I'll probably wear this, but fleece cap, we'll keep that last. Alright, so now, we're, again, twist. Got a little bit of air in here for in case I need to use my ruck as a flotation device. Gooseneck it. Strings, wrap them around, and create my quick release. Just it's not even really much of a quick release, it's just a little boom, done. Now, so this is what I forgot, my boots. I'm going to want my boots waterproofed. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to throw them in here. That would have been the last thing to put in. The boots are heavy. You may want to swap out your boots, you may not. Doesn't really matter. I always put my boots in last because they're one of the heavier items in here, and it just makes sense. It helps keep that heavy load from pulling too much to the bottom. Honestly, I never swapped out my boots, really. I just wore them until they dried out if they got wet. But some people were all about swapping out their boots, so having the boots right there at top was a big deal. I just throw one boot on each side, keep things balanced. Wet weather top, it's going up here outside of the bag because it's waterproof and I want quick access to it. Then over, you know, usually I'll throw this in a side pouch. For some reason I don't have my side pouches on this ruck, so I'm just going to shove it in here. The great thing about having your poncho liner in a side pouch is you don't even have to open the ruck up. If it starts raining, you just pop that out, throw it over top of your ruck. Helps keep it a little bit more dry, if you're, especially if you set your ruck down and you're trying to keep your crap kind of wet. Even if it's not raining, usually when I set my ruck down, I'll just pop it out, throw it over my ruck. If it's at all cloudy or anything. Oh, there's the pants. I definitely should have packed those at the bottom because I never wear them. But they're in there. And my helmet's gonna be last. Little side note, because I'm always bringing them Ranger panties. I love Ranger panties. Honestly, if I'm gonna be out in the woods for a while or rucking, I'm either going commando or I'm wearing Ranger panties. There's nothing else that works quite so well for me. So that's just my own personal advice. Okay, helmet's on top. Got way too much stuff. Actually, I don't have hardly anything in here for this to be looking this ugly. Okay, so not done yet because we gotta cinch this thing down, and you want it tight, guys. So you don't want to have a ruck all nice and packed and then everything's loose and flopping all over the place. That'll just waste a lot of that time you spent packing. So I'm going to cinch down these bottom, you can see, cinch down these bottom ones. I'll have to re-roll all these once I'm done. Okay, and then tighten out all this. Okay. Now what I like to do is I'll sit on my ruck and I'll pull both of these. More. Okay. I don't know what, some guys can make their ruck look just as perfectly symmetrical, beautiful. I don't know. Every time I do it, it just looks like hot garbage. But you know what? It feels good on my shoulders. I can ruck for a good while, and I guess that's what matters. So obviously you wanna roll up all this stuff, tuck it away. What else? Oh, good idea. So there's this thing, guys, where people, one last thing, where people think that there's a certain way you gotta wear your ruck, and you're more macho the less equipment you're using as assistance. You got two things on the front of this ruck. You got this kidney pad, which a lot of people, they'll tell you flip it over like this. Wow, that's loose. You gotta get that. I gotta get it tightened. And guys won't use this. They say, oh, it's for women because it's takes the weight, put the weights on your hips. I was told in OSET, don't use this because it puts weight on the hips. That's for women. Men are carry their weight in the shoulders, and so don't use it. I've now done a lot more training than those and got a lot better instructions than my drill sergeant at OSET, and I'm fully confident to say that's a total crap. Yes, this puts your weight on your hips. It's supposed to. Throw it up. What I do, okay, I'll start with it unbuckled, okay? I'll start with unbuckled. I'll have my chest strap strapped on. Then, when I'm starting to kind of feel a little in my shoulders a little bit, I'll throw on my buckle the waist here, and maybe undo my chest piece. Maybe I'll keep them both on. I'll switch it back up. I'll just usually by the end of it, I've got the chest strap buckled and tightened down, and I've got this thing strapped and tightened down. But in between the 12-mile ruck, whatever we're doing, maybe I've got it. Maybe I'll just buckle it, unbuckle it as whatever feels comfortable. Use your equipment the way it's meant to be used. Don't let people tell you or make you feel like you're more of a man if you rough it a harder way. That's stupid. Your objective is to do the mission, do it with enough energy and strength to do it well, and get back. Like, this idea of you trying to rough it and make it harder on yourself is absolutely ridiculous, especially in situations where people's lives are on the line. It just blows my mind. Anyways, so use your straps. You're going to make sure they're very tight up here. You don't want any wiggle room. So play with that. That's probably one of the biggest things that saved me was finding how to get this strap right here. You get that as tight as you possibly can to where there's no wiggle room at all, and that will save you. Alright, this video is long enough. Appreciate you guys. I hope you finally appreciate this video because it's been forever coming out.